Hi everyone, how are you doing? First of all, I want to thank all the students who have submitted their assignments. And also, I found some students have presented in a wonderful way and I like their presentation styles, especially the title of their assignment and the handwriting. So I thank you all for that neat and excellent presentation. Well, let us start our session today. What did we learn last time? Let's look into this summary. Well, if you see this picture right in front of you, we learned a lot, that too in detail, about film review. In my last session, I told you what is a review, film review and book review, and I said our topic in the first session is only related to film review, and then we discussed in detail that review should inform, describe, analyze and evaluate. How opinions or judgments should be supported by reasons and evidence. Your film review should have your proofs that this is the evidence I am showing that the film is nice. Write about films can take two forms. So writing can take two forms. What are the two forms? We have seen. Then we have seen the writing process and the structure of a film review. Today's topic is book review. Without much ado, let me start. A book review is a balanced assessment of a book. It offers a brief description of the book's key points and provides an evaluation of its strengths and weakness. So you should tell what are the strengths of this book, what is the weakness of this book. A book review should not be confused with book reports. What is a book report? Book reports are short descriptions of books. They summarize and explain the content of a book, its theme, plot, characters, and so on, and gives a personal opinion whether you like it or not. Whereas a book reviews, on the other hand, relatively longer. What do the book review do? They analyze a book and give a reasoned argument about the strengths and weakness of a book. Now that you have known the difference between a book review and book report, let me go ahead with the next slide. Book reviews provide the following information. Point A. Basic information about the book: who the author is, what the title is, who the publisher is, how many pages there are, who published this book, and what is the price of this book. See, it's very simple. It's like you are shopping for something, and before you go and shop, you got to know about everything about that one thing you are purchasing. So it's the same thing here. Before someone wants to buy that book to read the book, he will be dependent on the book reviews. Point B. A preview of the book. Well, when you go to the shopping mall, you would be doing some trial in the trial room. It doesn't matter which gender, we just go for the trial so that the dress looks good. It's the same thing here. You are giving a preview of this book. So what is this book about? What is it like? How does it work? Point C. The reviewer's response. whether or not the reviewer enjoyed it and for what reason. So you need to tell to your readers who are reading your review, well, I enjoyed this book or I did not enjoy this book. Suppose you go to a bakery and you taste a cake, and that is something you have never tried, and after eating that small piece of cake you will say this cake is delicious or this cake is not nice. It's the same thing. D. The reviewer's advice. Now he should tell whether the book is worth the time, effort and money the reader is likely to spend on. Let me tell you, I myself have purchased books, and you know, some books are very costly. So the audience will be really looking forward for the advice whether the book is worth their time, effort and money. And let me tell you, some books have 200 pages and above. Sometimes there are above 300 pages. So it takes a lot of time to read that book. The main purpose of a review is to offer to the potential reader of the book a dispassionate assessment of the book, its literary or academic merit or practical utility. That means without any bias he should assess the book and tell how rich the content is, and if you read this book, will it be useful for your life, and how much practicality is there. After reading this book you will put that into practice. This is of utmost importance, my dear students. A book review could be written in 4 distinct steps. Step 1. Before you read, think of the elements that could go into your review. In the last slide I have already told you what are the necessary things. Here we'll go in depth into it. So what are these elements that we need to think? First, what is the title of the book? What meaning does it convey to you? See, we have different parties, different celebration. Every party has a different situation. It's a birthday party, it's an anniversary party, it's an annual day function, it's a freshers day function. So the title of the book is important. Who is the author and what else has she or he written? Suppose if it's a freshers day, the concentration is on the students who have entered into the college. Suppose if it's a farewell day, the concentration is on the students who are leaving the college. It's the same thing here. So who is the author? What he or she has written? What does the author usually write about? Does she write about politics, religion, social issues? So what are her topics? What kind of a book is it? Is it a work of imagination or of practical utility? That means fiction or non-fiction. For example, Harry Potter is a fictitious story, but whereas some lessons are not fictitious story, they are non-fiction, like Ambedkar's lesson where his speech is taken and it is there in a textbook as a lesson. Next point, what is the structure of the book? Is it divided into chapters? Do chapters have titles? Is there a preface, introduction, disclaimer, postface, appendix, etc.? See, some books are very short. They are known as short stories. Some books are story books which are very long, so they have chapters. Some books are novels Some books are volumes. That means first volume, second volume. You might say, sir, how is it? Let me give you the example. Nowadays, you are all well aware that a film has two parts. That's the first part and the second part. In the same way, first volume, second volume. And if you know that Harry Potter has 7 books, that means 7 different titles. That much is the popularity of this division, how a book is divided. Sometimes there is a preface to tell you what to expect in this book, and then they will introduce what is this book about, and they will give you a disclaimer. Sometimes we have genres. Some people don't like to read thrillers. Some people are interested in comedies. Some people are interested in romance. Some people are not interested in reading romantic novels. So there will be a disclaimer what to expect, what not to expect. And what is postface? This I want to give you as a homework. Not that I don't know, it's just that if I give you a tough word, it would be a challenge for you to find out what is this postface in book review. And then appendix, that means a list of things that the author has used. This appendix will be generally at the end of the book. Last point says, what is the physical quality of the book? Its appearance, size, bulk, print quality, etc. Let me tell you, I have purchased some books online, and in online purchasing of these books, the description is written. Is it a paper bound? Is it a hardcover? Or what is the quality of that book is written. And literally I saw these descriptions in the online shopping place, not a place, an online shopping site you can say, and I have seen the description of it. So please, this is also of utmost important, the physical quality of the book, the appearance, the size and the bulk and the print, etc. Step 2. As you read, think of the components of the book you will want to write about in your review. Generally, every book consists of 2 broad components: content and form. What is this content? What is this form? The answer to the question, what is the book about, is content. And the answer to the question, how is it done, is form. Let me give you an example. Suppose you are planning to cook for your family. What you will do? First, you will think what to prepare. Then you will start using all the materials that are available in your kitchen to prepare that curry or prepare that dish. So let us match this one. So what is content? The thing you are thinking, what is that dish that I want to prepare for my family? Then you will start using all the things that are available in your kitchen to make that delicious dish. Now don't tell me you will first use all the materials, then think about what is the dish that you want to prepare. For example, you will on that stuff and put the vessel, and now you are thinking, what is the dish that I need to prepare? I think it will not work at all. That dish would be the worst dish. We will further proceed in our step 2 as you read. Theme. What is this theme about? Theme is the abstract idea that a book explores. Is the theme about freedom? Is it about slavery? Are you writing about a friendship or beauty? It generally remains unstated and has to be inferred. Subject. Subject is the concrete manifestation of the abstract idea. Let me give the same example of you preparing something for your family. If you are preparing biryani, it doesn't matter whether it is a vegetable or a non-veg biryani. The whole concentration is preparing that biryani. So the abstract idea is when you were first thinking, I want to prepare something for the family. That first abstract idea is, I want to prepare biryani. Then you will work on that idea. What biryani are you preparing? Now you will think about it. It's the same thing. After you have that idea, whether you want to write on friendship, slavery, beauty or freedom, then you will go in depth into it. You will write in depth. For example, you may write the nature's beauty, you may write about flowers, or you may write about rainbow. Some people like looking at the clouds, and when the rain comes, they are so excited to see the rainbow. So, what is it all about? An in-depth writing of that abstract idea forms the subject. We have just seen content can be divided into two sections, theme and subject. What is this form? Form is a broad category and it includes everything that a writer uses to transmit the content. Language style, narrative technique, point of view, setting, symbolism, imagery, and so on. If you take our lesson, The Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise, we see the language style is different. It's full of humor, and the narrative technique is also unique, like the aerial messenger coming and talking to the other people, and the point of view is all work and no fun makes Jack a dull boy. And there is some symbolism, imagery telling us the importance of art. The writer uses all these and other such means to convey the idea behind the text. So, as we were discussing how this Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise worked and it became successful because the writer Rabindranath Tagore has used all this language style, narrative technique and imagery to make that story a successful story. I know all of you enjoyed this story so much. Now, while content and form are two comprehensive categories, the reader should pay special attention to some of the following elements while reading a book for reviewing. See, we had to follow some elements for filmmaking. In the same way, for book reviewing also, you should follow some elements. What are they? Let's see. First point, the main theme or chief argument of the book. The Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise says us about art and the importance of art. The author is having this chief argument that all work and no play makes a person a dull person. Next, how he is substantiating this argument with proof. We can clearly see that in The Wrong Man in the Workers' Paradise, all the people were working. There was no fun at all. And what was the evidence? Even the girl who was carrying the water in a pot near the stream is so dull. But after she comes in contact with this person who is an excellent artist, he is a painter, then her life changes colorfully. The important characters or events, the language and the style of the author, just now I've told the example. The tone and the mood of the book, I told you the tone and the mood of that lesson was full of humor and comedy. And was it formal or informal? And any special feature of the book, illustrations, references of other books or other sources of information. So you can also tell something special related when you are reviewing that book. You can give some examples so that the reviewer's example is there for the audience to grab. And that's what makes a person an excellent reviewer. Step 3. What is it all about? It's about as you write. Step 1 tells us before you read what you should do. Step 2 tells us as you read what you should do. Now, step 3 is utmost important because you are writing that review. What you should do in this third step? Let me take you to that explanation part. After reading the book and forming an opinion about it, get down and write about it. Go back to the notes you have made while reading the book and write the first draft of the review when the book is still fresh in your mind. Now let me tell you, if you attended a function, it can be a farewell day function or an annual day function or any other event, the first thing you will do is you would go home and tell it to your family. You don't tell after 2 or 3 days. You tell it on the same day. Why? Because you remember everything. It is there in your mind because it has happened that day. In the same way, after reading the book, make sure you start writing the first draft when the book information is still in your mind. And please make sure you have a small diary or a book to note down some important points while you are reading the book. Many times I tell my students, please maintain running notes. Let me tell you, running notes will be very helpful, and people who write running notes will reach to new heights of success. That's my only suggestion. If you want success, you need to work hard and you need to work smart also. And writing running notes is a smart way of climbing the ladder successfully. First point, begin with short summary of the book. Do not go into details and do not give away too much of the content. In the same paragraph, try and contextualize but not evaluate the book by referring to other books, the author or the books by the other writers on the subject. Please explain me further, what does this point means? Let me take the same example. We were talking about that freshers' day or the farewell party. You will talk on that same day, and when you are talking, you will talk about that topic and you will not tell in detail. It's a summary, and you will not tell each and every second detail. You will just say the gist of it. You will go to your family and you will say, this is this that has happened in our function today, and this is the special performance by that special class. So you will just tell important things. You will not say at this time it started, at this minute it ended, and this was the lunch time and this was the break time. You will not give each and every detail. It's the same thing. Short summary, you don't give away that much, and you will not discuss about any other event. You will only discuss about the event that has happened on that day. Suppose if it is about the Freshers' Day, you will only talk about Freshers' Day. You will never talk about Farewell Day, which happened last year. So you cannot talk about authors' other books or other writers on this subject. Next point. After the first paragraph, which introduces the main plot, chief argument, the book provides for the details of the book. How the plot progresses, what are the main characters, and the argument is developed, what this book is all about. You need to support those arguments. Remember the film reviewing, how you need to support your arguments and judgments with evidence. It's the same thing for book review also. After information about the book and discussion, provide your evaluation. Remember that the purpose of the review is to give not merely a summary of the book, but also the critical evaluation. A reader expects to know what the book is all about, as well as the reviewer's assessment of it, whether the reviewer liked it or not. If he liked it, what is the reason for liking it? If he did not like it, what is the reason for not liking it? The evaluation may be done by focusing on key elements of the book and by weighing it against other books on the subject, either by the same author or by other authors. The balance between description and evaluation depends largely on target audience. Who is this target audience? What does it mean by target audience? Now, there is two major differences. One is general readership and another one is specialist readership. Now, to give you an example, let us say that general readership is the state syllabus students and specialist readership is this CBSE students. Let me tell you, this is taken as an example and not to be taken as a bias. I have nothing against any of the categories, but it's for just the sake of explanation. So if I am presenting something, my presentation would be different for state syllabus students and my presentation would be different for a CBSE student. So I would make sure that there is a difference in my presentation because of the syllabus that particular students have. So it's the same thing here. If the review is meant for general readership, description and discussion may be given more space than evaluation. And if it is intended for special readership, evaluation may be given preference over description. Step 4. After you write. While you should write the first draft of the review as soon as you have read the book and formed an opinion about it, it is advisable to not send the review for publication immediately after writing it. So what you should do? You should reread your review, preferably after a time gap, and see if you still want to say the same things about the book and in the same manner. Let me give you an example. Sometimes you click a picture and when you click that picture, you may not like it, but after 1 day or 2 days, you go back and see the picture, you will see, wow, this picture came nice. At the time, I felt it was not nice. It's the same thing here. So please make sure you don't submit your publication immediately. While revising and finalizing the review, you should recheck the following. There are some guidelines which are given. What are these guidelines? Let us see. The first point says spellings, particularly of the title, name of the people and the places, punctuation and grammar. Girls, let me tell you, this is of utmost importance. Some people have learned the answer so well, but they lose the marks because of these spellings and grammar. Factual information about the book, the publishing year, the year of publication, etc. Accuracy of your quotations from the book. Sometimes you are writing something from the book and you are quoting and there is a mistake. The quotation in the book is different and you have made a typing mistake. So make sure the accuracy of your quotations from the book are matching. Logic of your argument. Is your assessment of the book based on solid evidence from the book or on your assumptions, opinions and impressions? Some people don't go to any of that restaurant which we talked earlier and they assume things and say, hey, that restaurant is not nice, that food is not nice, outside food is bad. Hello, first you go and eat, visit the restaurant. Then if you give you that feedback, then we will accept it. You did not visit it, you did not eat, so you have no authority to pass your opinions. In the same way, you have to support your argument with evidence, not on assumptions or opinions and impressions. While writing the review, you should also be careful about the language, the style and the tone. Is the language clear? Is the style straightforward? Is the tone cordial? This is of utmost importance. Balance. Is the balance between information and evaluation right for the readers for whom the review is intended? Remember that revision is not a waste of time, but it is as important, if not more, as the writing itself. Let me tell you something. Who are toppers who revised 2 to 3 times and they are the toppers of the college? So don't tell me that their revision is a waste of time. It is because of that revision they have become the toppers of the college. It's the same thing here. Revision, in fact, helps you moderate some of the strong impressions you had formed immediately after reading the book and thereby make it more impartial and professional. So don't forget to revise and have a revision. We have come to the most important topic of our book review, and this topic is also very interesting. Let me tell you, students, it's all in the mind. If you think it is not interesting, it will never be interesting. If you think it is interesting, then everything is interesting. It's all in the mind. Now, the structure of a book review. Like film review has a structure, book review also has a structure. This is the same structure you have to write in your exam. Well, you have to concentrate more now. There are 5 things that you need to concentrate. What are those 5 things? First, headline and title. Next, opening statement. Let me tell you, if you meet someone or someone comes to your house as relatives, that opening statement is very important. Hello, hi, or you will say, It's been a long while since I've seen you. So opening statement matters a lot. Next, discussion. After telling your relative that hi and how are you doing, you don't run away. You'll wait for some time and you discuss a little bit further. That relative may ask you, what are you doing? If you are studying, they will ask you what college are you studying. If you are working, they'll ask you which company are you working. So the discussion will continue. After that, he will assess, oh, it's nice, you are studying in that college. Wow, that's a nice college. Oh, you are working in that company. Well, that's a nice company. You know, my friends are also working in that company. So he'll give you an assessment. And last, he will give you a conclusion, all the best for your future. Or he will say, well, keep it up. And then you really run from that place because already, you are tired because of this questioning. I think you have understood now what is the structure of this book review, that it has a headline, title, then there is an opening statement, there is a discussion, and there is assessment, and then there is conclusion. Structure of a book review. An in-depth analysis. The title of the review should be short and may suggest the reviewer's assessment of the book. That means there should be a title and there should be an opening statement. First, we'll look into the title and the headline. Here, Chetan Bhagat is a writer, Half Girlfriend is the book name, and this is what we are writing, Old Wine in an Old Bottle. Now you understand what is it all about? Headline and title. Next, opening statement. A strong introduction is crucial to the success of the review. The lead paragraph should grab the attention of the readers and make them read the rest of the review. It should provide basic information about the book title, author, publication, details, genre, etc. A short synopsis of the book and the reviewer's overall impression of it. What does this opening statement mean? You can say it is like a trailer to a movie. So, how the trailer is for a movie, your opening statement is for your book review. Next point in the structure of book review is discussion. Paragraphs following the lead discuss the book further. The discussion may be spread over 2 to 3 paragraphs which form the body of the review. Please once again remember the letters. In the letter, the body of the letter is very important. It's the same thing. The paragraphs of discussion may be 2 to 3 paragraphs. So be careful that this discussion is in detail. Now what do you discuss? You could discuss the important aspects of the book, what is the central theme, supportive evidence, style of writing, relevant passages may be quoted to illustrate the points being made. Let us take once again the example of The Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise. What is the central theme? The theme is about art and the importance of art, and what we are supporting it with evidence and showing how in paradise the place where people are continuously working are there, and the place where people are enjoying with art is there. There are two separate places. Here you can say the differences, and the style of writing used by Rabindranath Tagore is of humor and comedy, and please make sure you quote something illustrating that. You can tell about the girl, how she was before that wrong man in the paradise enters. She was only workaholic, and after the wrong man in the workers paradise enters, she is very happy because she has a colorful ribbon and her pot is painted. So you need to support it with an evidence and discuss in detail. The last 2 points of the structure of a book review is assessment and conclusion. Evaluation of the book should be based on the merits and demerits and not on your personal opinion. You should clearly tell what are the advantages and disadvantages, not your personal opinion. Praise or criticism of the book should be supported by evidence. If you don't support it, it will either look unconvincing or it will look unprofessional. While assessing a book, it is important to remember the review is of the book that the author has written and not the book the reviewer wishes the author had written. What does that mean? Whatever the book the author has written, you should review that. Not that you expect something and that expectation did not match and you are giving a wrong review. Finally, we come to the conclusion. The final paragraph is as important as the lead paragraph. You can say the ending of a film is as important as the starting of the film. Readers are likely to remember and be influenced by the reviewer's comment in the last paragraph. The concluding paragraphs contains the reviewer's final comments on the success or failure of the author. Here is giving an overall impression. The total impression comes in the last paragraph. Either you have to buy the book or don't buy the book. Either the book is superb or the book is not so nice. So everything comes in this concluding paragraph. Your recommendation or your rejection of the book and an advisory to the reader about whether or not to read the book. I have already told you reading a book takes a lot of time. Only those people know who read books that how time consuming is reading of books. So with this we come to the explanation part of book review. I please suggest you to read an example of book review written in your textbook on page number 169. I will be very happy if you do that. Next, an important information that I want to tell you. You can see a slide in front of you. What you can see? It's a colorful slide. Well, the portion for the online internal exam. The portion is from these 5 videos which I have uploaded. The first video is vocabulary, second is relative clauses session 1, third is relative clauses session 2, fourth is review writing session 1 which is film review, and the fifth one is this current video which is review writing session book review. How will this exam come? It will come in choose the correct words. I will give you a question and there will be 4 options. So I want you to go through these 5 videos. I know some people don't have textbooks or some or the other problem are there because you are in some or the other place in this quarantine. But don't you worry about it. All the content of the textbook is in your videos. And somewhere I have given examples which are not there in the textbook. I may ask questions from that also. All you need to do is LSRW. That means listen to what I am speaking, read what is there written on the video or in your textbooks, and write the online exam. LSRW. If you do this, you will get 15 out of 15. So once again, thank you very much. All I want to say is all the best for your exam. Have a nice time.